Well, the Minnesota fishing opener is less than 2 hours away, but it's never too late for some last-minute tips. So whether you plan to hit the water at midnight or sometime tomorrow, here's a few things you should know before dropping a line. It's been a warmer than usual winter, leading to an earlier than usual ice out, which might benefit anglers across the state.
I think the outlook looks pretty good for the walleye opener. This past winter, virtually nobody was ice fishing because ice conditions were so bad. So the fish didn't really see any baits. Very few fish were caught this winter, the walleyes. And so there's a lot left in all the lakes in the area. And because we had early ice out this year, the walleyes are all done spawning now and they've recovered. So they should be hungry. So it should be a good opening weekend.
Although the warmer winter might garner more bites now, it was cause for concern with stocking bait.
Number one thing that everybody wants to know is if we're going to have shiners. It kind of was like one of those things where we were kind of nervous we were going to get them too early and that we were going to have to start holding them and they were going to start dying and it was just going to be a pain. But it's been windy and cold and those shiners just didn't want to move up. But the last couple of days it's been warm and they hit at about the perfect time. So I think most bait shops throughout Minnesota should have shiners for opener.
Which is good news according to Dick Beardsley, who recommends using them for bait. But there are other options as well.
A jig and a spot tail shiner is a hard combination to beat. Now, if you can't get spot tails, a rainbow or a nice sized fathead will work almost just as well. And then a live bait rig, pulling behind with a larger type minnow, and a slip bobber sometimes. Slip bobber and a leech outside the edge of the emerging weeds. You don't want to get stuck on one type of presentation. If it's not working, try something else.
Having the right setup is only half the battle, though. Knowing where to look for the fish is just as important.
Sometimes those walleyes, especially opening weekend, it's kind of a crapshoot. You don't really know where they're going to be, so you got to explore a little bit. But the one thing that usually is going on opening weekend, if the walleye bite isn't, the crappie fishing.
Crappies are definitely up shallow on most of the lakes around here too, or just outside the weeds on some of the bigger lakes. But usually we're not seeing that till about Memorial Day. So with the early ice off and the warm weather now, I'd say they're going to be in the small harbors, they're going to be up in pencil reeds, they're going to be in the weed beds up shallow.
But before you push off and cast a line this weekend, here's a few last-minute reminders.
Make sure your line is fresh. There's no nicks or anything in there. It's not frayed up so you're not getting tangled all the time. And make sure your hooks are sharp.
And make sure you have a new Minnesota fishing license for 2024. That's an important thing.
You can pick one of those up at your local bait shop or online at the Minnesota DNR's website. Both guides also recommend knowing the rules for the lake that you're fishing on, because it's always your responsibility as the angler to know the size and the limit of fish that you can catch. So make sure you're doing that.
Should be a great day to be out on the water tomorrow.
The wind's supposed to calm down. It's supposed to be blue skies, so couldn't ask for a better opener.
Yeah, there's been some tough openers through the years, but this year looks pretty nice. All right.
Lakeland News is member-supported content. Please consider supporting Lakeland News today.